Have you ever had the experience of someone apologizing after you share with them something that they did that hurt you in some way, caused you some kind of harm, and they apologize, yet you walk away feeling even worse? On today's episode, we're going to talk about fake apologies versus real apologies. Stay tuned. Hello, I'm Lisa Czak, host of Worthy Woman Healing Podcast and founder of Worthy Woman Healing Group, which meets twice a month. We help you master your mind and emotions so that you can have peace and clarity on next steps to take in your life. And Worthy Woman Healing Retreats. We all go together as a group from the Worthy Woman Healing Group, and we celebrate in the Caribbean on a private little boutique island that's all just for us. So if you're interested in that, click the link below. If you have not subscribed to our new newsletter, which gives you monthly healing and health tips, it gives you a scripture of the month and what to do after you read that scripture. How do you even interpret it? How do you even get anything out of it? Click the link below to get that. And you will also get our free morning meditation, which really is more of an intention setting thing that you do every morning so that you decide what kind of day you want to have, what kind of mood you want to be in. Okay, so on today's episode, we are talking about apologies. And in the intro, I was talking about, have you ever had the experience where somebody close, and I'm talking about like somebody close to you, well, it can be anybody, but when somebody close to you that supposedly loves you and cares for you and has your best interests at heart, and you go to them and you say, hey, you know what, can I talk to you about something? And you say, you know what, when you canceled all the plans that we made, I felt really abandoned and rejected, and I felt really hurt by it. So you're using I statements, you're stating, you're owning your feelings, you're not attacking, you're not blaming them. And they say to you, I'm sorry that you feel abandoned and rejected and hurt. And you kind of sit there and you're waiting for more, but nothing else comes, and you walk away feeling worse. And that confuses you. You're like, what? I don't understand why I feel worse. They apologized. They didn't defend themselves. They didn't make excuses or justifications. They didn't do any of that. All they said was, I'm sorry you feel abandoned and hurt and rejected. Have you ever wondered why you feel worse? I'm about to tell you why. You feel worse because that person is focusing on your feelings, which seems legit, right? Because it doesn't feel good to have our feelings dismissed, which they're not doing. It doesn't feel good to have our feelings invalidated. So why do you feel so bad? And why is that a bad thing that they're focusing on your feelings? Well, I'm going to tell you. They're focusing on your feelings, making it seem like your feelings are the problem instead of their behavior and action that caused you to have those feelings. Now, again, I'm always saying that you're in control of your feelings. No one else can tell you how to feel. You get to decide that, right? So you are, though. You're taking ownership. You're using I statements. You're doing all those things to own you're not saying, you made me feel. Now, that's different. You made me feel. However, it's invalidating and it's confusing. And it's actually a form of gaslighting because they're saying, let's not look at, my behavior that caused this. Let's not look at my actions that caused this. Let's focus on your feelings. And I'm sorry that you feel that way. So maybe you have said that to somebody. I know I'm sure I have. I'm sure I've said that to somebody until I've learned how to actually give an apology. So tell me that this wouldn't feel better, right? This wouldn't feel more validating. If instead of saying, I'm sorry you feel abandoned, rejected, and hurt, and they said, I'm sorry I hurt you by doing this. I'm sorry I abandoned you by doing this. I'm sorry I rejected you by doing this. You see the difference? That would feel better because now they're acknowledging what they did. They're acknowledging that they're taking accountability. That's accountability and responsibility. When I canceled those plans, that hurt you, and I'm sorry, and that was wrong. See how different that is? So different, right? And let's see, the other thing that you might hear is this. So say you go to someone and you say, I feel really hurt by your mean comment that you made to me. Maybe they said a comment that wasn't very nice to you. And they say, I'm sorry you think I was mean. Okay? This is the same this isn't the same thing as guys, no. This is the same thing as before. I'm sorry you feel hurt. I'm sorry you think I was mean. Instead, they could say this. I spoke harshly and hurt you. I'll work on speaking respectfully. Wouldn't that feel better? Because if that person is saying, you know what, that comment you made, that was mean. That was a mean comment. And they're just saying, I'm sorry, you think. It's that little word, that little insidious word. I'm sorry you think I was being mean. They're not owning up to it. They're not acknowledging it. They're not taking responsibility and accountability for that. Whereas if they said, wow, you know what, I did speak harshly to you. That was wrong. And I'm going to work on being more respectful to you. I'm going to take ownership of that. What you're looking for is for them taking ownership. So that's why if that little word, I'm sorry you think I was mean. I'm sorry you think I abandoned you. I'm sorry you think I hurt you. And you walk away feeling worse. You're like, well, that word sorry was in there. Why do I feel worse? That is why. You are only as sick as your secrets. It is time to stop suffering in silence and join other women who are also on a healing journey, who are being raw, real, vulnerable, and honest with what they are going through in their life, what they have been through in their life. And wherever two or more are gathered, we know God is with us. It says it right there in the Bible. So there is power to group healing. Miracles happen in there. You have one woman sharing, opening up her heart. Suddenly everyone else in the group is saying, yeah, I've experienced that. I'm not the only one. There's such power in knowing that you are not alone in your suffering. You are not alone in your healing. And we meet twice a month. And in between those times, a lot happens, right? And it's important that you have time in between the sessions to practice the healing technique that I teach you, so you can come back into the group and celebrate with the other women. Hey, I actually remembered to do the healing technique in that moment. That trigger didn't derail me anymore. But it's practice. I'm also a personal trainer, right? You don't just get a six-pack abs by doing one sit-up. You have to keep doing it over and over again. You don't run a marathon. You don't go out and run 13.1 miles for a half marathon the first time, right? You practice running. a little bit every day. And that is what we do in Worthy Woman Healing Group. Join today and tell yourself, I'm going to give this a 3-month commitment minimum because I know I need time to practice outside of these sessions, and come in and get guidance from the other women on how to actually heal all of these wounds, heal my mind, body, and soul one trigger at a time. You are worth it. Okay, the third thing, notice these are just little tiny, like if you blink, you might miss it, right? I'm sorry you feel, I'm sorry you think. And now this next one, I've talked about this before, the but, right? I love you, but. People, when they put that little but in there, that means whatever I just said, ignore. Now I'm going to stick it to you and tell you how I really feel. Anytime I hear that word but, I just run. I run out of the room. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the but. Don't tell me the but. So the apology might sound like this. I'm sorry you feel that way, but, and now they're going to stick it to you. They don't really mean they're sorry. The but means now I'm going to tell you how I really feel, and now I'm going to stick it to you. And it's probably going to end up with, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I was tired, but I was hungry, but I was mad at you for this, right? There's a but at the end of that. And that's why you walk away feeling worse, because they have not only done whatever they did to harm you, now they're trying to justify it. They're trying to, make excuses for it. And you walk away, it's so confusing. You walk away feeling like, what just happened? There was a sorry in there. They didn't get defensive. Their voice didn't raise. None of that happened. But I feel worse about myself. So what you can do now is, if this is somebody that you want to have in your life, that you actually love and care for and want to have a relationship with, whatever the nature of that relationship might be, you can say this to them, right? The comeback, or whatever you want to say, would be, when you say that, remember, you're being specific about their behavior. When you tell me that you are sorry I feel abandoned, I feel more abandoned when you say that. And would you like to know more about what caused me to feel abandoned? Because maybe they don't know. Maybe they are oblivious. We don't know, right? So you can say that to them, that, okay, when you said, I know it was an apology. However, I feel worse after that apology. I feel even more abandoned after that apology, because I'm not sure that you understand the action or behavior or the words that you said that led to me feeling abandoned. And if this person loves you and cares about you, they're going to have an attitude of curiosity. Or if somebody says this to you, right, have an attitude of curiosity about it. Okay, I'm curious. Help me understand. What did I do to cause that led you to feel abandoned, that led you to feel rejected, that led you to feel hurt? So I hope that helps you understand why, and clears up some confusion for you, why sometimes somebody's apologizing to you, but you feel worse when you walk away from that. So now you know. All right then. Remember, you are worth it.